Today, I'm going to show you a fast and simple method to get that texture paint slash painterly effect using Daz for the character, photo sketcher, blender, and the Deep Paint add-on to make everything really pop. This workflow is perfect if you want a stylized look without spending hours hand painting every detail. If you've seen my previous Daz to Blender character design video, you already know that Daz characters and assets can be extremely dense and heavy. To keep everything running as smoothly as possible, I always turn the mesh resolution down to base and drop the subdivision level all the way down. Doing this gives me way more flexibility when building my scene, because the mesh isn't bogging down my viewport or slowing down my workflow. Now you'll want to locate your character's textures, because we're going to need those to drop into Photo Sketcher. On the right side of your screen, go to the Surfaces tab. Select a material, then click Browse. This will open the folder where all of your character's texture maps are stored. From here, you can easily gather the maps you want to stylize. Next, you'll want to remove all the existing textures. You'll notice in my workflow, I keep the normal map, though you actually don't need to. The default Daz normal maps don't work well for this process, especially after lowering the mesh resolution. I also like to keep things organized, so I place all the key body parts together in the texture list. This makes the setup cleaner and helps avoid confusion later on. Now you want to locate the folder that contains your base materials. What I like to do is create a new folder and make copies of my arm, leg, face, and torso textures, then place them in that new folder. You never want to modify the original textures in your DAZ directory. Once you have your copies organized, you can quickly drag and drop your materials into PhotoSketcher. Now, using the Deep Paint add-on, we want to switch over to the Deep Paint shader. Remove the Attribute Color node and add a Mix Color node, which will connect to our Painterly texture. Apply this same setup to all your materials: the arm, face, torso, legs, and lips. Next, drag and drop your base material into PhotoSketcher. I personally use the Painting 11 effect. Make a few simple adjustments, then hit Draw. To save time, you can turn your current settings into a preset by saving your parameters. That way, all you have to do is drag and drop the texture and load your custom preset. Repeat this process for the rest of your textures as well. PhotoSketcher also lets you import your own custom brushes and modify them to your liking, in case none of the default brushes match the aesthetic you're going for. Now you can import your materials back into Blender and connect them to your Mix Color node. The versatility of the Deep Paint shader lets you create a wide range of painterly looks and styles in seconds, which is why I like using it in this workflow. But keep in mind, everything I'm doing here with the Deep Paint shader can also be done manually directly in Blender if you prefer more control.